Yo, it's your boy Chris Lodgson, CJEC, Coalition for a Just and Equitable California, ARCC, American Redress Coalition of California, Sacramento team. Shout out to our Bay Area team as well. What's going on? Shout out to the ETN Media family too, ETN Media. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube at ETN Media Group and check out etnmediagroup.com now.
For sure.
Dope.
Okay, so where we at, man?
We are at the Broadway International Festival here in Sacramento. Broadway, between 17th, 18th, and I think 16th down there. This is a dope event. Second year, I think this event has been going on here in the city of Sacramento, Midtown, Broadway-ish area. And the event is brought to you by Queen Sheba Restaurant, which is a Black African-owned restaurant in the city of Sacramento. Shout out to Queen Sheba. Shout out to Zion, right on, the owner of Queen Sheba. Always shows mad love. So this is the festival that they do every year now, and it brings out a bunch of black vendors, a bunch of black people, a bunch of white people, a bunch of Spanish people, a bunch of everybody people. And the idea here is to shop with your black businesses, shop with your local businesses, get community information, build with your community. We got a bunch of people here doing donations and arts and crafts, all kind of good stuff for the family. So if you're in Sacramento today, I know it's hot, I know it's gonna be hot, but make sure you come out today if you can to the Broadway International Festival. If not, come out next year. Broadway International Festival every single year here in the city of Sacramento. That was a whole ad for them, right? Yeah, I know, right? Shit, you know what I'm saying?
All right, bro, so let's get into it, man. We're going to get straight.
Let's get it, man.
Right into
Yo.
it. You know we've been busy.
Yeah.
I mean, the last couple of, months.
Yeah, been busy working.
But
Good busy.
Good busy.
Good busy.
Great busy,
Yes,
man.
yes.
We've made a lot of progress, man, for these reparations,
Yes.
right? However, there is something, man,
What's up?
that's been happening, that's been brewing
Okay.
lately, called AB 2296.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of want to break
Yeah.
that down. So for the people that don't know what AB
Sure.
2296 is, can you let the people know what it is? And then on top of it,
Wow. That's
just
dope.
like they're over here,
Yeah, they
having
have.
a good time.
Yeah, that's what's up.
They're doing,
Wow.
they're doing their thing over there.
Dope shit. Go ahead. My bad.
So AB 2296.
Yeah.
All right. So can you explain to the people what AB 2296 and kind of what's happening right now with it?
Yeah, sure. So AB 2296 is a bill that is moving its way through the California state government right now that would extend the time or deadline of the California Reparations Task Force by 1 year. So from 2023, which is the deadline now, to 2024, which would be the deadline if the bill gets signed into law. The bill's not law yet. It has to be signed before it becomes law. But that's what it would do. It will also make some changes to how people are either selected or removed from the Reparations Task Force, and also it will make some changes about how the task force can elect its officers and people to do the work that the task force needs to do. So that's what the bill does. I can't say too much about what is gonna come next, but the only thing I can say is that the bill is right now going to the governor's desk for the governor to decide whether or not to sign it. Our group, CJEC, has taken a position since April, so this is already public. We've taken a position against AB 2296. We don't think the Reparations Task Force needs more time. The Reparations Task Force is actually not asking for more time. So that, among other things, is why we have been opposed to AB 2296 since at least April of this year. March, April of this year. So that's what it is. That's what it does, and that's our position on it.
So the current language in terms of the task force and having basically members, possibly deciding to or vote someone out. Can you kind of further explain that little updated language?
Yeah, the bill doesn't say task force members can vote people off the task force. That's not what it says. The bill says that people who picked task force members can remove task force members. So before, or right now, the language says that if you selected to the task force, you on the task force for the life of the task force. So for the whole time the task force exists, you are a task force member. This language change, if it becomes law, would say that if you get selected for the task force, the person who selected you can remove you really without any reason. So that's what the change would do if the bill becomes law. There's some other changes in there too about the, again, ability of the task force members to elect and select their own officers and create subcommittees and groups to do the work that it assigns to itself. And then again, there's the part about extending the task force for 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is in terms of that language, is it problematic, or do you think there's nothing to worry about that?
Well, again, we have taken a position against AB 2296. I can't say too much about what's coming next, but we have taken a position against AB 2296 for, again, the fact that the task force is not asking for any more time. The task force has not asked or even discussed having or doing their work for more time. So the task force is not asking for it, and I feel like, and we have said publicly, the task force doesn't need any more time to do its work. It's making great progress. It's on time. It's on schedule. It's doing great work. So the task force doesn't need more time, in addition to the fact that the task force is not asking for any more time.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think we're definitely going to build on that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But let's get into some other stuff.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up.
Yep,
So
yep.
can you give people kind of an update on what's been happening? You want to give these some kind of
Shit. Let's keep going for now.
Okay.
Let's keep going for now.
All right. So in terms of
we'll catch up with them.
in terms of what's kind of been going on, could you give the people some updates? I know we had the Build Black Better Business.
Yeah, dope work.
Kind of speak about that. Just kind of what we've been doing in the last couple months. And
A lot.
Also what's been
Man.
What's coming up in Los Angeles?
Yeah,
September 24th.
a lot.
Get the fam up to date on what's
Sure.
happened in the last couple months.
Sure. So in the last, just the last few weeks, actually, we've held 3 community listening sessions on reparations in the Bay Area, here in Sacramento, and virtually across the state too. So we've been very busy going out into the community, holding community meetings, holding what we call listening sessions, so that our community members have an opportunity to talk about the harms that they want reparations to address, talk about what types of reparations they want to repair those harms, talk about how, when, why their black family came to California, talk about what they vision or envision California being after we get reparations. So it's been an amazing, really past several months, really since May, but especially over the last few weeks, we've been very busy out in the community, in addition to holding community meetings, doing stuff like this, going out to community events with a bunch of dope flyers on California reparations, talking to the people, sharing information, making sure people know about California reparations, know about what's going on, and also answering any questions that people have. So that's what we've been up to. We're going to continue that work, obviously, from now till always, really, because this is part of what we do at CJEC, the Coalition for Just and Equitable California, and ARCC, the American Redress Coalition of California, and of course ETM Media too. Part of what we do is do community outreach and do community awareness building and raising awareness about California reparations. So that's what we are doing today. That's what we've been doing for the past several weeks and months. We're going to continue to do that. And we also learned just recently, in the past week or so, that the California Reparations Task Force will start meeting again officially for its public hearings in September of this year. So this is actually later this month, September 23rd, the Friday, September 24th, the Saturday, will be the first hearings of the California Reparations Task Force since April. So that's going to be Saturday, September 24th, and Friday, September 23rd in Los Angeles. We don't have an exact location yet. We don't have an exact time yet, but that is coming. So please do expect us to be there, and please do show up if you can in person in Los Angeles. If not, it'll be virtual also, so make sure you pull up virtually also. And of course, we're going to be sharing all of that information on our website, cjecofficial.org, on our social medias at CJC Official on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere else, and also out here in the community, because that's what we do.
All right, brother. So you want to give people your socials and
Oh, man.
all the other stuff where people can reach you?
Yeah, you can find me anywhere CJEC is. So find me at all of the CJEC socials. But if you want to get at me directly, I'm on Twitter at Chris Organized Sac, at Chris Organized Sacramento on Twitter, Chris Lodgson on Instagram, Chris Lodgson on Facebook. That's where you can catch me directly. And if you want to reach me also and can't remember those, just follow CJEC and send us a DM and say, hey, I want to talk to Chris about some XYZ, especially if you are in Sacramento or in the Bay Area and you want to do a community listening session on reparations, or you want to get involved some way, in any way, in the reparations work in your area. Send me a message, reach out, and let's make it happen.
All right, bro. So real quick before we leave. So let's talk about Tavis Smiley.
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't know,
shout out.
Mr. Chris Lodgson was on Tavis Smiley.
Yeah,
man,
big shout out.
Big guy,
Thank you, brother.
Tavis, man.
Thank you.
So can you give some people like
sure.
an idea of how that interview came about?
Sure.
And briefly what you talked about and your experience with that interview.
Yeah, so first of all, shout out to Tavis Smiley, shout out to KBLA, big shout out to the whole team over there, reached out to me to bring me on Tavis Smiley's show last week or the week before last. I believe it was last week, and we talked for about an hour or so about a range of issues, most of which centered around reparations and what we call reparative justice, and talked a lot about a new piece of legislation, a new bill that we just got signed into law, specifically called SB 189, Section 14 of SB 189, Section 14, which is legislation that we wrote at the Coalition for a Just and Equitable California. Shout out to the whole team who helped write that law, which is now law in California. First time ever in the state, and possibly across the country, that something like this has become law. What this does is it makes California the first state ever, at least from what we could tell, to actually start to collect information specifically on black folks who built this country, the black folks who are descendants of U.S. slavery, the black folks whose ancestors came here enslaved. There was no way to collect information on that group of people, on us, prior to or before this law was made law. So this was big, and so Tavis reached out, so Tavis' team reached out and said, can you come on the show, talk about it? So this was about a week and a half or so ago. Had a great conversation with Tavis. Again, amazing show. Please do check it out if you can. I believe it's on the KBLA website right now too, on the Tavis Smiley section. And it was an amazing experience. I can't thank Tavis enough. I can't thank his team enough. Can't thank the community and the people enough for showing up and showing love and sharing it. And I also want to shout out to the family at the media company Moguldom for writing a story on the Tavis Smiley interview. So I appreciate you for doing that. Big shout out to Moguldom. Shout out to Ashika over there at Moguldom for picking up that story too on the Tavis Smiley interview. So it was a dope interview, dope experience. Again, we talked about SB 189, Section 14, why that's important, why that's historic, why that's transformational, and then how that relates to reparations and how that relates to finding who are the people who are eligible for reparations. California said this year that people who are going to be eligible for reparations in California are those who are descendants of U.S. slavery. So it's important to have information about who those people are. And that's what SB 189 helps us do, in addition to just being something that we need to do because we are a specific, unique, and special group of people.
All right, brother.
Yeah.
Well, that's it, man.
Yeah.
All right, peace.
Big love.